Part 5, Islands in the Sea. Here, monsieur, among the foam and the sky. Now what? Nothing. This ennui never ends. I know not what event I expected. Raise anchor for an exotic nature. And the wind, those clouds are of northern skies. But I think you were wrong about one thing. There are fertile islands, and the breeze drives us there. A sea of love, streaming fresh and violet, arises from sea-end waves beneath the ruins. I remember the petals she let fall. You knew this malaise. That's why I love you. Part 6. The Pythoness Responds. Another Daphne, the old Theban's daughter, new favorite of Apollo, sat the tripod in fissured cave of laurel. Chewing the sacred leaf, her vision blurred to see between the worlds. The lords of Boeotia bowed their horsehair crests, and the voice priestess of the serpent and the sun did speak, her words echoing above the mist issuing depths. The abyss is gained not through denial. Satisfy your minds. Choose the flower path. Aromas of wilting bouquets are worthy of flashing helms and foreign lands untrod. Here the hearth fire sparkled higher, and when the day-lit entrance obscured, the startled Boeotian lords made as if to kneel in the sulphurous cavern. Lack of light is no misbegot end. The soul returns from a life of endless summer, and we desire living forms of fire and air, water and earth. You who oppose the hegemony of Argive rule, the godless realm that gives no offerings upon its altars, a joyless land where the subjected exist and are not as the living. Your enemy bathes luxuriously in blood, wicked scenes of her evil reign's victory, a newly infinite, pure and bright voids. The cruelest paradise is a flowered hope. Know that your spirit evolves through becoming and death, while the denying of nature and life is mistaken. Accepting some sins and perversity, strangely, become good by arts and beauty. The cruelest of dreams you have endured, and your enemy lives in a tyrant's realm of gold and power. Actual events are only peripheral to the final outcome in constant doubt. A numberless host is added to endlessly. How to tell friend from foe in such a chaos, and when they march, has not been made visible. A stone breast is needed in such struggle, possessed by the feverous vision. No heroes have died, we gave them the stars. Campfires of the dark and light glow in the evening sky. Part 7. Argive Queen. For the harvest of souls was it given, all those whose shade flows downward in the summer evenings of dusk twilight shadows, or the bright fall that renews desire's first passionings. They become then as sacred offerings of eternity, lie by the sea like gems upon purple lace, her crystalline pearls given to lighten the morrow's dawn. She who should have reigned over the seven-gated city, ancient and pastoral, serene, and grove nocturnal, fabled abode of gentle piping satyrs, where spirits haunt the pine green wold, and chthonic wisdom issues from the cleft serpentine. Now voices spells to swirling dust and phantoms. Her youth's delight was spent among ivy-clad roisters, in sumptuous halls, and echoing bass, filled with revel laughter. There her royal slaves were lovelier than marbled gods of ancestral renown. Stoic epicures with lascivious smiles, standing guard near torches' glare, were shown ensconced lairs of her chained beast, bewitched in dream. Her temple of lust and starlight was then ages old, older than the songs with which her rhapsodes her reign foretold. Sweet wisps of fat fragrant smoke drifted among the garden's porches, and the antediluvian menhirs brooded, circled round her altars. Ruddy dancers dabbled in charcoal and streaked with ochre, gamboled to flute and tambour, their eyes garish and coal. Sycophants waited among couches awash in Sidonian silks, carefully avoiding sybarites lost in their dens fantastical. Moans, chaunts, whips, a lion's growl, and a python's kiss, even songs of worship adored by the radiant horn-crowned Peloponnesian. Clothing themselves in the robes of darkness, she blessed the assembly with an ageless forgotten invocation. A priestess wavered above the cromlech in the moon's crescent light. Black hair floating about her arms, she plunged the glistening blade. Sprinkling blood of the goat upon the venerable stone, the living goddess held aloft the two simulacra for all to admire. She sleeps now on a cold slab in a charnel. Torches dim while we are fewer. Faint spirits bless with their whispers, gathering meek beyond the smoke-billowing pyre. To drink, drinking gulps from the blood-tainted goblet. Distant flutes sound in these hollow halls, reminding of eternities unchanged. A passage was held open for a last rain to caress her filial and pale blossoms. Part 8. A Street Cafe by Dusk. There at twilight, in a rock cafe outside the gates, when night shades the hills a dim verdigris, colors descend in moody waves, shimmering and still. Distant sidewalk crowds then fill the tables, awaiting the infernal scene, her hot onyx and stilettos of a wicked rain's glamour. In the full moonlight, brightly shadows the path by night, with a desolate air scurrying on dark wings above the city's streets.